standing in front of their house right now.
Okay, bye.
At approximately 1 o'clock this morning, San Jose Fire dispatched a full first alarm for a structure fire. It was in a single-family residence. We had approximately 25 firefighters here. Upon arrival, there was heavy smoke and flames coming from the front of the building. Fire crews knocked it down, kept the fire to the original structure. At this point, there's no injuries to occupants or fire personnel. The fire is suspicious in nature and is currently being investigated by San Jose PD and San Jose Fire Department arson investigator.
Okay. So, you know what, Chief, can you give me your name and spell it for me, please?
Darren Wallace, D-A-R-R-E-N, Wallace, W-A-L-L-A-C-E, Battalion Chief with the San Jose Fire Department.
Thank you. So my understanding is that you guys had heavy fire coming from the Alpha from the front of the house. Is that accurate?
That is correct, yes.
And how complex of a firefight was this? Can you give us details on how it unfolded?
Not knowing if the house was occupied, assuming that it is, it's given the time of day. With heavy fire, everybody was in what we consider a rescue mode, meaning the number one priority is going to be to go in the house, find occupants and get them out. We did that quickly. We're able to knock the fire down fairly quickly. The structure is heavily damaged and is not going to be occupied for quite some time. We don't have a damage estimate right now, but it's heavy damage throughout the house, smoke and fire.
Okay. And firefighters, you know, you guys did a fantastic job. You want to talk about how good a job they did?
I was real proud of everyone that showed up. Everyone knew their jobs. They did it well. Minimal direction was needed. Everyone just did. We train a lot. We get a lot of fires in San Jose, unfortunately, and it went about as well as it could go. Nobody was hurt, either the occupants or fire department personnel, which is always the priority. That happened, which is always good. Unfortunately, there was heavy damage to the house, but we did keep it to the original structure. It didn't extend to any other neighboring structures.
Okay. And you were saying Red Cross for how many residents?
At this point, one person. There's one resident in the involved structure with 2 pets and no, just the one occupant.
Okay. And obviously, once cause is determined, then you know, it'll all end up being an LE matter or an enforcement matter.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, it'll be a joint investigation with police and the fire department. They both have a part to play there. So they're here on scene. They'll be here for quite some time investigating. Given the nature of the fire, time of day, and the risk to occupants, it's a very serious situation.
Absolutely. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know how many homes were evacuated?
Just the one, either side and behind the structure were initially evacuated. Everyone's back in their homes for the rest of the night, except for the involved structure.
Okay. And I don't remember if you said, but how long did it take to knock down the fire?
From the time we arrived on scene to the time the visible smoke and flames, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes. And the main body of fire was knocked down. We had to go on the roof, cut a hole in the roof, let smoke out of the attic. And there was, like I said, there was fire throughout the house, mainly in the front part, but it did extend, so there were hot spots throughout the house. So it took a little bit longer to get all the hot spots.
And what's the extent of the damage to the home?
I would say heavy damage throughout 50% of the structure, approximately a 2,000 square foot residence. We don't have an actual dollar amount on the damage, but I'd say heavy damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it safe to say it's uninhabitable at this point?
Definitely uninhabitable, yes, definitely, for extensive damage.
And then, any idea where in the house the fire started? What room?
It's still being investigated right now because of the amount of damage, and it's in more than one area. It's going to take a little while. The fire cause investigator will determine that, interviewing the resident and the physical evidence. She's taking pictures right now, and they are pretty good at narrowing down exactly where it started.
Hey, Chief, can we get your name one more time, please?
Darren Wallace, D-A-R-R-E-N, Wallace, W-A-L-L-A-C-E.